Let's speak about Quantumscape, okay? A company involved in solid-state batteries that is going public through a reverse merger with the SPAC Kensington Capital. Very interesting company, and I've been getting asked an awful lot of questions about these guys as of late, and I have been doing quite a bit of research. So in today's video, there's a few key points I really want to cover. The first one is, what is a solid state battery and why are they potentially going to be so important in the future? Secondly, do I think that this is a good investment right now, and do I plan on investing? Thirdly, a few points from the investor presentation that are really important to understand before you decide to invest in this company. And four, obviously just a little bit of a general look at the company because it's really interesting. This company went up about 125% in value on Thursday and Friday, two of the worst trading days we've seen in a very long time. This isn't necessarily the most uncommon thing in the world to see when it comes to SPACs right now, but still, that is very impressive growth. So Quantumscape are in the world of EV, but they are focused on battery solutions, specifically solid state batteries, not producing actual electric vehicles. But anyway, there's a whole lot we have to cover today. So right before we get into the video, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, as it really helps me out. If you're new around here, hit that juicy red subscribe button. People, join the family, it's completely free. And please drop me a comment down below, just let me know what you think about this company right now, or even if you did get involved. With that being said, guys, into the video. So first things first, this is the SPAC, okay? Kensington Capital. And we can see that from Wednesday's open, they've gone up pretty much 125%. First day, they went up over 85%. They then shot up as much as nearly 30% before closing their second day of trading up about 20.5%. So this is just the SPAC. The ticker symbol is currently KCAC. You can invest in these now. This here is the actual company, Quantumscape. If we go to their investors page on the website, next gen battery company Quantumscape to list on NYSE through merger with Kensington Capital Acquisition Corp. And the homepage for their website is this: electric vehicles are here, the future is solid. Solid is underlined, and it's a little bit of a play on words because these guys are in solid state batteries. Now if you don't know what a solid state battery is, that's fine. All you need to understand is that when a functioning solid state battery is to come to fruition, is to be available, it's going to essentially destroy every other battery that's out there. A solid state battery is battery technology that uses solid electrodes and a solid electrolyte instead of the liquid or polymer gel electrolytes found in lithium ion or lithium polymer batteries. Sounds very complicated, but essentially they are a far superior battery, and we'll get into why in a little bit. But a few things that you should know: it significantly increases energy density, it enables sub 15-minute fast charge, 0 to 80%, it increases the lifespan of the batteries, it eliminates an organic separator, and it lowers the cost of batteries by eliminating anode host material and manufacturing costs. So essentially it's very superior in pretty much every single way to the batteries we see today, the typical lithium batteries. Now, a couple of things that people will bring up right off the bat is the fact that they are backed by both Bill Gates and Volkswagen. They're actually backed by quite a few more companies as well that we'll get into. They are a 10-year-old battery maker, and their ambition is to be a supplier to the industry as a whole. So there's obviously, these guys are chasing a massive market opportunity. So in regards to Volkswagen, a solid state battery would increase the range of the e-Golf to approximately 750 kilometers compared with the present 300 kilometers, and keep in mind, it's cheaper. So Bill Gates is an investor, and that's pretty much the absolute basics, okay? So where you're going to get a lot of information about these guys is if we go over to their investor presentation. So we'll start with the transaction overview, always a good place to start. So the main purpose of this, okay, the companies are combining to advance and accelerate the commercialization of Quantumscape's battery technology. Fair enough. So pro forma for the transaction, Quantumscape will have about $1.15 billion of cash to fund commercialization plans. That's $230 million from Kensington cash held in trust, $500 million in PIPE proceeds, and $471 million Quantumscape cash, and no additional equity capital need expected prior to production launch. We'll get into when that actually will be soon. The valuation, okay, of $3.3 billion, which is about 1 times of 2027 expected sales. If you start to do a little bit of research into solid state batteries, you will soon realize that these are still quite a ways away, people. So Quantumscape redefining batteries. Once in a century shift to electrified vehicles, that's fine. Solid state batteries are the key to making this shift, and honestly, I won't disagree. Solid state batteries will be extremely superior, but I also want to just make it very clear from the start. These guys don't have an anomaly in regards to these solid state batteries. Lots of companies in the past have claimed to have them, but they don't. Any company who currently is in the space of EV could come out with one, or a prototype for one. Tesla, for example, most definitely I will expect them to design their own solid state battery at some stage. I don't think it's going to be announced necessarily on this specific battery day, but in the future, definitely. So it's important to understand that from the start, especially when you start to see it, some of the numbers these guys start throwing at us. They're not the only company in the world who can create a solid state battery. As of right now, they have the only lithium metal solid state battery with automotive OEM validation, so that's obviously a good thing. So backed by leading investors, $802 million of total funding commitments from all of these different investors. A little bit more about the business. 10 years of R&D investment. Yep, happy days. It's 10 years old, you'd expect that. 200 plus employees. That's a good place to be. That's a very good place to be. 200 plus patents, very important for what they're trying to do, and extensive trade secrets. So this is the first thing I want to speak about, okay? This massive untapped demand if batteries meet mass market requirements. 90 million plus vehicles produced annually, and this is obviously going up every single year, represents in excess of $450 billion of potential battery sales annually. So obviously really big numbers to be thrown out there, but that's fair enough. That is what it is. So this is what they say the customer requirements for mass market adaptation is, and this is where the solid state battery comes in. So we need a more than 300-mile range. Yeah, that's fair. I would actually expect it to need to be a little bit bigger, but okay. Fast charging in less than 15 minutes. Again, fair enough, yeah. Cost less than $30,000 for 300-mile EVs. Battery lifetime greater than 12 years or greater than 150,000 miles. And a solid non-oxidizable separator. Now these ones here, in regards to cost and battery lifetime, I think as of right now those numbers are fair enough, but I think that they should get better as time goes on. And then they go on to speak about this, okay, the only battery that enables mass market transformation, and it shows their value proposition, which is essentially everything we just went through. But what I want to make clear yet again is that anybody could come out and do this still. Just do keep that in mind, guys. I know right now, especially if you've never looked into or even heard of solid state batteries, this will seem really exciting. But keep in mind, it's not like they're the only people in the world who can do this. So the technology is lower cost, 17% cheaper than your traditional Li-ion. Happy days. So a significant technology advantage. Now, this is one of the things I definitely will give them. And I think this is one of the most important things to take away if you do want to be an investor you plan on buying. They're protected by about 200 patents and 100 trade secrets. That's happy days. That's fantastic stuff. So it says here that Volkswagen has already tested Quantumscape early stage solid state battery sample cells in Germany, running at automotive rates of power. While we're on this topic, I want to show you this article from the 22nd of June 2018. Okay, it says Volkswagen aims for solid state battery production by 2025, and this was announced after their £75 million investment in Californian battery technology company Quantumscape. Okay, so this has been going on for a long time. Now with that being said, is this actually a solid state battery? I highly doubt it personally. Not to say they won't have a solid state battery, but I wouldn't imagine this one here is, you know, a functioning solid state battery. Now what I will say is that Volkswagen probably is a good investor to have on your side. I know it's not one that on this channel we speak about when we do talk about EV on this channel very much, but they're an absolutely massive brand name. They're going to have about 38 billion invested in electric mobility by 2024, and they plan to launch about 70 electric vehicle models and produce 22 million electric vehicles by 2029. So just through having Volkswagen on your side, that's a great place to be. Don't need to read into this too much, but we see they have an established manufacturing process and supply chains. Obviously very good, but also something you would expect. So these are the next steps in regards to scaling up with this product. This is what needs to happen next, okay? Increasing the separator yield, multi-layer cell, and high volume battery manufacturing. So all of that's fair enough. And this is a little bit of what the timeline looks like, but I'm not even going to get too into it. What I do want to look at is this, their summary financials. And the main thing is their revenue, okay? And this company is expecting to have no revenue until 2024. And no significant revenue, in my opinion, realistically, until 2027. And I mean, even up as far as 2025, we're looking at gross margins of 1% and 5%. Now look, this could be an absolutely amazing investment, and I definitely don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with getting in. And at the right price, I will get involved. So for me personally, there's a few little concerns. One is this, the fact we're more than likely not going to see significant revenue for upwards of 6 to 7 years. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't grow, and their market cap can't grow, and the stock price can't go up an awful lot by any means. And when they do start to grow, they're going to grow very quickly. The other thing is, there could be an awful lot more competition by then, and an awful lot of competition from massive companies. I think the one that's going to spring to absolutely everybody's mind is Tesla. This is the kind of thing they're known for, and it's the kind of thing that their mission stands for. Now with that being said, with this merger, I do think they're in a good position for the short term, especially capital wise, and they have some massive investors on their side. So I want to make it extremely clear from the start, I definitely see absolutely massive potential for this company. I'm already extremely exposed to EV, and if I have to ask myself, would I rather invest in this company over Tesla or Workhorse or Hyliion? More than likely the answer would be no. Maybe it's because myself, I haven't actually done enough research into solid state batteries in general and them being the future, but I am aware that there already is quite a few different companies working on these batteries. So we can see that their 2028 estimates here for total production capacity represents about 910,000 vehicles annually. That's an awful lot of sales, people. Like, that's an awful lot. And I mean, I understand that's still not even really breaking into very much of the market, but right now, to me personally, it just seems really speculative. And I know that probably sounds rich coming from me because I'm very happy to invest in speculative companies, but there's just something about it that doesn't really get me very excited. Maybe it's the fact that, you know, it's such a broad time horizon. At these prices of $22.50, I can very much so say I don't plan on investing. If we're to see what we've seen with a lot of SPACs, and we see a relatively big pullback, I'm speaking maybe 25-30%. I'm saying maybe if we get to $15 to $16 a share, maybe even $17 a share, I most certainly would consider. But what I will say is, I won't be upset if I miss out on the run up here. I think a lot of hype got involved in these guys because it's not really something we've seen happen with a SPAC ever. And also people just see that Bill Gates investing and they're going to get very excited. So I think between the hype of it just being an EV related SPAC and seeing massive name investors getting involved, that would have definitely pushed the prices up a little bit higher. Again, I want to make it really clear, I don't think it's a bad investment by any means, and I may well get involved, just not at these prices. Now, if you are to start doing some research and read some news articles, you're going to come across ones like this, okay? Volkswagen one-ups Tesla with a revolutionary battery breakthrough. There's a quote here, okay? By increasing the distance that EVs can travel on a single charge by 50%, the Quantumscape powered Volkswagens would instantly be the electric vehicle to beat. But guys, this is in 5 years time pretty much. Does anybody really believe that Tesla won't have a better battery in 5 years time? I know for one, I definitely would not be willing to bet against that whatsoever. Now what I will say is I do believe they're ahead of the competition. I don't think there's much arguing to be done there, but that doesn't mean that people can't catch up. So just to round things up, guys, definitely don't think it's a bad investment by any means. It could be an absolutely amazing opportunity in the future. For me personally, I just don't think a lot is going to come to fruition for a very long time. We could see what we see with SPACs. We could see some amazing run-ups. The merger could run it up, but I think there'll be a lot of choppiness involved in this company. I do absolutely love what they're doing. I just can't be, completely convinced that they are going to be the best when there will be so much competition from massive companies again like Tesla. If you're in at this price, do I think it's a bad investment? Honestly, no. I could definitely see a world where this just keeps shooting up in value. I mean, there's a lot of excitement here right now, but I personally won't get involved unless I see it somewhere in the 15 to 17 range, and even then my mind's not 100% made up yet. But guys, that is my take on this new solid state battery company. So guys, there we have it, my up-to-date thoughts on this relatively new, relatively exciting opportunity that is out there. If there's any really important piece of information you think that I missed out, please do drop it in the comment section below, because I am going to keep up to date with this company, so you guys will be helping me out and everybody else in the comment section. And if you did watch until the end of the video, as always my friend, you are a true legend and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. If you have enjoyed the video, please drop it a like and subscribe if you're new around here, because that all helps me out so much. And again, I just want to remind you all that my private Discord group is now live if you want to get involved. Hit that first link in the description to be taken to my Patreon, and you will get updates every time I buy and sell, new ticker symbols that I'm watching, some little juicy pieces of information, and you will also get to join a community of over 700 investors who chat pretty much all day every day. With all that being said, guys, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you for the next video. Peace.